Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to International Islamic University, Islamabad Schools, Sahiwal Campus online lectures. This is the lecture of Grade 5 English, Unit number 13. Dear students, Unit number 13 is the first unit of this agenda. We already have done two lectures from this unit. In the first lecture, we covered reading and explanation of difficult words and phrases. In the second lecture, we covered the first section of exercise, which was question answers. You have written those question answers in your English classwork notebook. I also gave you some homeworks from your student's book and some homeworks from your workbook. I hope you all have done those homeworks. Dear students, if you are not following the classwork and homework and doing it properly, then please start to do this regularly, because these notebooks will be checked and these lectures are very important for you. Okay, our unit number 13 name is poem, and this poem name is The Fringe of the Sea. Okay, this is the lecture number 3 from this unit. Before we begin, make sure that you have your English student's book, English classwork notebook, and your complete stationery with you. Listen to the teacher attentively and write down the stuff asked by teacher in your notebook. If you find anything difficult or anything that you don't understand, just rewind the video and listen the difficult one again, and I'm sure that you will understand it. We are going to cover in this lecture vocabulary on page number 86 and adjectives and comparative and superlative adjectives on page number 87 of your student's book. Then some of the exercises will be given to you as your homework from your English workbook. Okay. Write down the date and day on the top of the page 86. Okay. On page number 86, I am going to start from vocabulary, and the first exercise of vocabulary is just a verbal thing. You don't need to bother about it. Come to the exercise 2, which is find words or phrases in poem which mean the same. Dear students, here 8 definitions are given, and you are required to find the words from your poem, The Fringe of the Sea, and you will find words for these definitions. Let's start doing this exercise. The first definition is the edge of the sea. What does the edge of the sea called? It is called a fringe. Write down the word on the front of the definition. Then, second one is get up, and the word from your poem is rise up. Third is not wearing any shoes, and the word from your poem is barefoot. Fourth, place where the water is not very deep, and the word is shallows. Fifth is bright blue, and the word is turquoise. Sixth is smooth and silky, and the word from poem is sleek. Seventh one is steer a boat, and the word is pilot. Eighth one is soft sounds, and the word is murmurs. I hope you have done this exercise on your book. Now we are going to move towards comparative and superlative adjectives given on page number 87. So first of all, we are required to understand that what is comparative and what is superlative adjective. Dear students, comparative adjectives are used to compare one noun to another noun by adding er or er to the adjectives. The regular adjectives are added r or er with them to form their comparative adjective. इसके अलावा इसकी एक रिकॉग्निशन ऐसे भी की जा सकती है कि जिस सेंटेंस में दो नाउन्स के कंपैरिजन में देन का वर्ड यूज़ हो, इट मीन्स कि वो दो का कंपैरिजन है, उसमें हम कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव यूज़ करेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल, एडजेक्टिव शॉर्ट हैज़ इट्स comparative form shorter. Okay, in this example, shorter is the comparative degree of the adjective short. Superlative adjectives are used to compare three or more nouns by adding st or est to the adjective. Dear students, remember that st or est are added to the superlative degree of adjective, which are regular adjectives. Okay, they are also used to compare one thing against the rest of a group. For example, short, its comparative degree is shorter and the superlative degree is shortest. In this example, shortest is the superlative degree of regular adjective short. Okay, the important thing to notice that there are some adjectives which take irregular forms. For example, good. We don't add er or est to make it good, gooder, goodest, because it isn't any word. The comparative and superlative degree of good are better and best. These are irregular adjectives. Y changes to I and then you add er. Dear students, when you have to form a comparative degree of regular adjective, you remove the y from the end of that adjective and replace it with I, then add er. For example, a word is pretty. You will remove y and add I, then er, and it becomes prettier. Okay, next thing is that some adjectives double the last letter. For example, when we make the comparative degree of big, it becomes bigger, and in bigger, the G sound becomes double. Okay, another thing to remember is that longer adjectives with more than one syllable use more or most in front of the adjectives. They don't have direct comparative and superlative word. For example, if the adjective is graceful, its comparative degree will be more graceful and the superlative degree will be most graceful. I hope you all have understood what I tried to explain you about adjectives, about the degrees of adjectives. Now we will do the exercises on student's book. Page number 87 of your student's book is the page where exercises of comparative and superlative adjective are given. Okay, first of all, look at the exercise 1. Copy and complete these sentences with the correct form of adjective in brackets. Okay, here blanks are given and you are required to fill these blanks with the appropriate form of adjective, and adjectives are given at the end of the sentence. First sentence is the sun is dash at midday, then in the early morning, and the adjective is hot. Dear students, here word then is used and two times are compared with each other. So this will be the comparative degree, and comparative form of hot is hotter. It is hotter. Fill the blank with the word hotter. Grade 5. Please fill these blanks yourself. Pause the video and fill these blanks yourself. After you have filled this, you replay the video and check its solution given by me. If you have done wrong, then erase it and do it again. Correct. Okay. Pause the video and do this. Fill in the blanks. Have you done? Okay, now I am going to give you the solution. Recheck your solution. Sentence number 2 is the weather is much dash today than it was yesterday. And the adjective is good. And we already have seen the forms of good. Here, 2 days are compared. So the comparative degree will be used. It is better. The weather is much better today than it was yesterday. Third sentence is in the afternoon the wind was dash than the morning. Okay, here again it is a comparison. So we will use stronger. In the afternoon the wind was stronger than in the morning. Come to the sentence number 4. The dash weather was in the evening. And the adjective is bad. Here in this sentence no comparison is described. So the weather was, what is the superlative degree of bad? It is worst. It is worst, not worse. I wrote it mistakenly. It is actually worst. W-O-R-S-T, worst. Sentence number 5 is it is dash to lie on sand than on rock. Here two situations are compared. So we will use comparative degree, and the comparative of soft is softer. It is softer to lie on sand than on rock. Sentence number 6 is the dash coral is on the reef near the shore. Here we will use superlative degree because no comparison is given. So we will use loveliest. The loveliest coral is on the reef near the shore. Sentence number 7 is crabs have dash shells than shrimps. And the adjective is hard. Here the shells of two insects are compared. So we will use comparative, and the comparative degree of hard is harder. Sentence number 8 is living beside the sea was the dash time of my life. It is the time of his life. So it is the superlative, and the adjective is happy. For the superlative degree of happy, we will replace y with I and add est, and it will become happiest. Living beside the sea was the happiest time of my life. I hope you all have rechecked your solution. Okay, dear students, when you send your notebooks to school for checking, make sure that you are sending your English students book and workbook also, because works on students book and workbooks are also to be checked by your teacher. So don't forget to send your students book and workbook with your English notebooks. Now come to the exercise 2 from page number 87, and this exercise is write sentences of your own using the following adjectives. Okay, now you can do this yourself. I also have prepared a solution for it. So open your English classwork notebook and prepare classwork page by writing date and day on the top of the page. Topic is poem and subtopic is comparative and superlative. Then write down the solution of this exercise. The phrase 1 is more beautiful. I have written a sentence that your dress is more beautiful than mine. You can make your own sentence also, but it should be grammatically correct. Your spellings should be correct and it should make a sense. Okay, second is the most beautiful, and I wrote the sentence She thought it the most beautiful doll in the world. Third adjective is more enjoyable. And the sentence I made is today is the more enjoyable day than yesterday. Fourth sentence is the most enjoyable. Dear students, don't forget to notice the form of adjective given to you. For example, the third one was more enjoyable, which was comparative, and you have to take it into account while making your sentence, that you have to use a comparison between two adjectives. Okay, and the fourth adjective is the most enjoyable, so it means that you are bound to make a sentence for superlative that has no compare with other objects of the group. I made sentence for fourth adjective that it was the most enjoyable trip of my life. Adjective 5 is more delicious, and I made the sentence tea is more delicious than coffee. You can use your own sentence. Adjective 6 is the most delicious, and I made sentence that it is most delicious snacks I have ever eaten. Okay, here is another mistake. It should be eaten, not eat. I have ever eaten. Okay, next, seventh adjective is more amusing. I made sentence that Ali is more amusing than Ahmed. And eighth adjective is the most amusing, and I made sentence that monkey is the most amusing animal of jungle. I hope that you all have done your classwork. Make sure that you have done it neatly, and if you find any word or any letter untidy and not formed properly, then form it properly and make your work neat. Otherwise, I will cancel your work and will give you to do this again. So avoid this punishment. Just do your homework and classwork neat and tidy in the first attempt. Now let's discuss your today's homework. From students book page number 86, you have to do question number 1 on your homework notebook. Actually, it is the first exercise of vocabulary that I asked you to ignore. This is given to you as your homework. And from workbook page number 52, do exercise 6 and 7. These exercises will be done on your workbook. Dear students, make sure to complete your homework in time and send your book, workbook, and classwork notebook and homework notebook with complete works, neat, clean, and completely done on the respective day. Okay, dear students, this is the end of today's lecture. Good luck. Allah Hafiz.